Yes, good afternoon, Vishnu.
Good afternoon.
So, this is your IELTS speaking test. Alright, so this is being conducted as a mock test at Warangal Triumph IELTS Institute, Subedari. So, I'll be acting as an examiner. Alright, so I'll be asking you different questions from part 1, few different topics, and then part 2 followed by part 3, which is a detailed discussion round. So, first, always remember that the examiner is going to introduce himself or herself. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Tausif Ahmed and I'll be your IELTS examiner for today. So yes, you'll be tested in the speaking module. Alright, so yes, we'll start. Okay, so what's your full name?
My full name is Vishnu Teja Uruganda. You can address me as Vishnu.
Alright, Vishnu. Where are you from?
I am from Warangal, which is very famous for its farming and also the cinema. It's very unique here.
Alright.
I am from Warangal.
Alright, good. So in the real exam, the examiner is going to check for your original passport. So I'm not going to check it right now. Okay, so let's start by talking about yourself. Okay, so the first question, always remember that the examiner is going to ask you about your studies or work. So yes, do you work or are you a student?
I recently graduated in engineering from the stream of computer science in Vagdevi College.
Alright. Okay, so let's start by talking about yourself. Okay, so yes, what are your hobbies?
My daily activities includes playing cricket, playing chess, and also watching series on Netflix. And yeah.
Alright, okay, good. So let's start by talking about your accommodation. Okay, so I'm changing the topic a little bit. So tell me about the type of accommodation you live in.
I usually live in an independent house which was built by my father in around 6 months ago. So we live in an independent manner.
Alright, independent house. Okay. So what do you like the most about living there?
I like the most
Surroundings.
I like the surroundings because it's very near to the town, so we can easily go to supermarket and
Very
also to the films when we are interested. So it's very nice to be there.
Alright, okay, good. So yes, is there anything that you don't like about living there?
There is only one thing that is there is huge traffic going on daily, so the noises are not very pleasing for me.
Okay. Alright, okay, that's fine. Okay, so yes, if you get a chance, would you like to move somewhere else?
No, I don't want to move to any other place because I always like to stay in my home, which is built as an independent.
Okay.
So I like to stay there.
Alright, so let's continue by talking about reading books. So do you like reading books?
Yes, I do like reading books. I usually read story books before going to sleep.
Okay, very good. Going to sleep. Alright. Okay, good. So the answers are short and okay, almost up to the point, but I suggest you to expand these a little bit more, right? Okay. So yes, what types of books do you like reading? Story books.
I usually read storybooks which are related to Akbar and Birbal.
Alright.
Since my childhood, I was very fond of that books.
Okay, I've been very fond. Okay, okay, good. It's a continuous tense, right? Okay, very good. Fine. So, do you prefer reading books directly or do you prefer e-reading?
No, I always prefer to read the books not in physical, not by mobile phones, because I feel very good by having a book in my hand rather than mobile phone.
Okay, good. Alright, so yes, we'll move to part 2 now. Okay, so this is your part 2 question. So it's describe a website you have bought something from. So it's already passed, you have already bought it, right? So you can take a minute to prepare some notes, alright? So I'll be using the clock, right, to gauge time. So your 1 minute preparation time starts now, then you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on this. Yes, you can start speaking now.
Today I would like to speak about a website which I had bought something from that. The website name is Amazon, which is very popular in India and all over world across. So I bought a pair of shirts and also a trouser for my interview.
Okay.
So I was very pleased by the way they delivered the product to me. So I like the shirts and trousers because there were not any there were no mistakes or anything that's there in the product.
Alright.
It was very genuine, and the delivery partner also very positive towards me. Was very positive towards me, and I also like the service which they had provided. And the most thing which I like
The thing I like
the most was I got the product for very cheaper price, rather very high, which I recently looked in a near market to my home. So the Amazon, as we have all known, the website is very good for its products, which they always shows very keen towards the positiveness to the customers, which is very great example for an online platform to have.
Okay.
So this is what I like the most towards by having a product from Amazon.
All right, good. So it was 1 minute 45 seconds. Okay, so yes, okay, that's good. Okay, so right. So do you frequently purchase items from e-commerce websites?
Yes, I do purchase from online platforms, so such as grocery and also few shirts.
All right. Okay, good. So do you think it's a good idea to shop online or offline? Which one is good in your opinion?
Actually, I like mostly going out rather than buying online,
Alright.
because I can go with my friends and my family,
Alright.
where they can give me a suggestion on choosing the clothes and other products.
Very good. Okay. So let's move to part 3 now. Okay. So in this part, usually the examiner is going to ask you some extended questions. So you have to be a very careful listener in part 3. All right. Because there are certain types of questions like opinion based, comparative questions, right? Agree, disagree, advantages and disadvantages. These also they appear in IELTS speaking. All right. Part 3 specifically. So yes, let's continue with part 3. So what kinds of things do people in your country often buy from online shops?
Mostly people like to buy clothes and also few grocery for the needs in their homes.
All right.
And they also like to buy on devices such as mobile
Gadgets.
phones
Very good.
and also televisions.
Okay.
They mostly prefer for these products.
All right. You can also say electronic equipment, right? Okay, good. So why has online shopping become so popular in many countries? Why?
In my opinion, I think people these days are not interested to waste their time
Okay.
to go out and buy
Very good.
products or any clothes, because they can get that products in a very lesser time with in their hands with
Okay.
using the mobile phone. That's mostly the thing.
Okay. Okay. So what are some possible drawbacks of purchasing items online?
Few drawbacks includes the illegal product deliveries,
Alright.
and also issues with the online platform, which may not like to replace or return the funds or the
Return
product.
policy. Okay. It's quite lengthy. All right. Okay. Decent. So yes, we'll proceed. So do you agree that the prices of all goods should be lower on internet shopping compared to offline stores?
No, I don't exactly prefer that way, because even though those products are available in online, that should be with a minimal price range, because that was also made by many people in the factories working. So I don't think it has to be a very lower price.
All right. Okay. So fine. So, do you think large shopping malls will continue to sell, products which are similar to online shopping stores, or will they sell different products?
Yes, they all big shopping malls always tries to be in a unique way and sells different kinds of varieties. They always tries to be unique because nowadays as online platforms are including and providing varieties of products, the outside shopping malls also tries to be in a very unique way.
All right. Okay. So, do you think some businesses will operate only online in the future, or will they also operate offline?
Uh, I think only going for online is not a big good deal because people always try to go in physical and buy. So these sites will also come into physical and become makes a landmarks by selling them in physical.
All right. So, do you think the number of people purchasing online items will increase or decrease in future?
I think mostly the people are going to be increased in future because as pandemics are arriving,
Okay.
people are being safe at their home and accessing
Ordering.
and ordering products from their own will.
Very good. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so how have the shopping habits of people changed over the last 10 to 15 years?
Oh, since 1.5 decade, I feel many modern ways has been recognized as how people are changed because now it's really about fashion everything
Right.
because it's been trendy, but people in the olden days were not used to buy these kind of clothes which are present at this time.
Okay.
So people are choosing very trendy ones.
All right. And you can also say, add one more point that majority of the people they are shopping out of necessity. I mean, they are purchasing things which they don't really need. Okay, good. So yes, on the whole, it was a good test. In the real exam, the examiner is going to ask you a bit more questions and along with some interruptions, cross-examining. So here is the feedback, Vishnu, from your speaking sample. The first thing is that at some point you said trouser. Okay, that's okay. Trousers is the right thing. Okay, and I can say, I mean, few sentences were a bit unclear, vague at times, so you have to work on them a little bit, right? Pronunciation is fine, but there were few hesitations. I mean, it looked like you were a bit nervous while speaking. So, again, for this practice is the solution, and you were using the word very quite often. So, it's okay if you want to get a band 6, that's fine. Okay. And at some time, at some point you said product, it's actually products. Okay. And a few other answers, I mean in part 3 the answers were a bit short. Okay, you have to expand them a little bit, right? So the sentences were lacking proper connection, but still from my experience I would say you would get a band 6 for this, right? Nothing much to worry about that, but I advise you to practice more so that you get a better score. Okay, and right, what was the part 2 question? It was about
In online advertising.
yeah, online, right? So you could have also said that everything, I mean items are delivered right at our doorstep, right? So yeah, it's okay since this is a session which is being conducted after a long time, right? It's been almost 25 days we haven't practiced speaking, so it's natural that our speaking ability fades. It drops according to the time. So nothing much to worry. So yeah, I just advise you to practice more. That's the only way, right? So for now I would say you deserve a band 6 in speaking, right? Not less than that, no need to worry. So yes, that's the end of your speaking, all right? So I'll make you practice again, all right?